Microphone check 1, 2. I'm a couple minutes late, but I'm here. Just gonna wait for everybody to show up or not show up, whichever one you want to choose. Um, let's see here. Let me roll that back there. Hope everybody's Father's Day is going well. All right. Let me get right into it because there's going to be a lot of people on Father's Day. I'm just going to pretend I'm just going to make this this live go real quick because everybody's spending Father's Day, so you know how that is. You know how that is. You know how that is. All right, here we go.
So why does the internet hate Chris Brown? What's he done that's so bad? Well, let's talk about it. So you all know this guy. His name's Chris, and this story starts when he's 19, and he's already a famous singer at this point, and he's legitimately a very talented guy.
Yeah, legitimately. I mean, he is a very talented guy. That is for sure. Here we go.
And during this period, he just so happens to be dating another famous singer, this woman, Rihanna. So one night in 2009, Chris and Rihanna are driving around town. When Rihanna, I guess she's looking at his phone and she sees something suspicious. A text from a girl that he used to smash with. And this pisses her off, and she accuses him of cheating, and she's screaming, "You're such a liar! I hate you!" And she tries to kick him as he's driving. And of course, this pisses Chris off. And so then, boom, he starts punching her in the face with his right hand while he drives with his left. And bam, she spits on him because she's got blood in her mouth. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you when we get home." And so Rihanna gets scared, and she tries to call her assistant. But her assistant doesn't answer. And so Rihanna fakes a conversation and is like, "Make sure the cops are there when I get home." I guess she's trying to...
Yeah, this is the first thing. I don't see why she didn't call 911. That's weird. But if that is the case, I mean, that's, you know you're in danger. Why call your assistant?
Scare Chris. But Chris doesn't get scared. In fact, he threatens to unalive her. And so he pulls the car over and he starts choking her. And she immediately screams out the window, "Help! He's trying to unalive me!" And the neighbors hear and they call police. A few hours later, bam, Chris is arrested.
Brown was arrested February 8th, just hours after he was accused of beating Rihanna.
Now,
I mean, this is just the beginning, folks. Here we go.
of course, this news blows up because they're both so famous. In fact, it's one of the biggest news stories of that year. And photos of her face all beat up, they leak, and they're brutal. And the platforms, they don't allow me to show pictures of domestic abuse, but I mean, you can Google it, it's really bad. And so anyway, Chris ends up going to court and he takes a plea deal and he gets 5 years probation. And to try and
That's crazy to me. This is why he never really straightened up. They knew even back then the type of psychological situation he was in, and he's still bad.
Rehabilitate his reputation, Chris releases a public apology.
"I am very sad and very ashamed of what I've done. I have told Rihanna countless times, and I'm telling you today that I'm truly, truly sorry and that I wasn't able to handle the situation both differently and better."
And so, yeah, it seems like he learned his lesson and that he'll never do anything like this ever again. Until... oh no, it turns out old Chris has quite the anger problem. Because 4 years later, it's 2013. He's now around 24 years old. And he's still on probation for beating up Rihanna. And one night, he's in a parking lot, and I guess singer Frank Ocean is there. And Frank and Chris, they get into some kind of argument over a parking space. And this argument gets heated. And it gets...
I mean, the thing is that it's just basically there's just some people who are just naturally violent and naturally violent.
so heated that, pow, Chris allegedly punches Frank in the face. And then it kind of turns into a big group brawl. And apparently Sean Kingston is there watching it all. So, shout out to Sean Kingston. Beautiful girls. Now, lucky for Chris, Frank Ocean decides not to press charges.
Didn't help him. Sometimes the best thing you can do is turn somebody in. I'm sorry. It's that they won't course correct on their own. They just won't.
But then one night it happens again. Chris is in Washington, D.C., leaving a hotel when two girls see him and they ask him for a picture. And so Chris stops to take a picture, and I guess there's some random guy there who thinks it would be funny to photobomb them. So he jumps in their picture and he's like, hey. And Chris gets super pissed off and says, I'm not down with that gay shit. And pow, he punches him in the face and it breaks his nose. And so then, bam, Chris is arrested again. Here's his mugshot, and here he is in court. Then,
and did you know that I went on a Chris Brown, not a Chris Brown channel, but a channel that they definitely were Chris Brown biased, and they literally told me he had no violent record.
In court. Then, while he's waiting to be officially sentenced, he's out on bail, and he goes to an anger management rehab facility to work on some of his issues. And one day, he's there in a family session with his mom. And Chris, he just doesn't want to be there. He wants to leave. But his mom tells him that she wants him to stay, that it'll be good for him. And for whatever reason,
Okay, so if his mom is telling him to stay, and that it'll be good for him, and it has to do with psychological issues, obviously she knows there's something wrong with her son.
And Chris, he just doesn't want to be there. He wants to leave. But his mom tells him that she wants him to stay, that it'll be good for him. And for whatever reason, this pisses Chris off. And he apparently flips out and he leaves the facility and he walks outside, picks up a huge rock, and kaboom, he smashes it through her car window.
What?
He did that to his own mom. And of course,
wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. And by the way, the animation is cool. I guess this animation is real cool, but they're being very flattering to him because he's as skinny as a crackhead. He does not have any muscles. So I don't know why, but hey, it still works. Here we go.
Of course, he gets kicked out of rehab because, you can't be violent in rehab. And so he goes back before the judge, and the judge orders him to attend another rehab facility, making it clear if you leave this rehab facility, you're definitely going to jail. So in 2014, Chris is at a new anger management rehab facility, and one day they're all doing a group therapy session, and the facilitator starts this exercise with the group. He's like, let's go around the room and everyone say something that you're good at doing. Chris, what are you good at doing? And I guess Chris is grumpy that day or something, and he's like, I'm good at using guns and knives.
There's your king.
Which is not the best thing to say when you're in anger management. And of course, everyone's like, what the fuck? And so anyway, boom, Chris gets kicked out of rehab again. And because of that, he has to spend 108 days in jail.
Not nearly enough time. That's literally just 3 months.
Oh, but it keeps going. 2 years later, New Year's Day, Chris has a little party in his Las Vegas hotel room, and a woman there ends up taking a picture of him without his consent. And Chris, he gets real pissed off again, and he's like, pow! He allegedly punches her right in the face. And of course, she ends up filing a lawsuit against him, and Chris gets mad that she did this, and he posts about it on his social media.
Obviously, somebody's looking to get a check or start some shit.
The way he's rubbing his face, in my opinion, that's basically kind of like that crackhead kind of vibe to me.
I don't know this old looking bitch. This bitch old, like dusty. She came to Vegas. She probably came to my room. It was too ugly to get in.
Anyways, this drama ends when Chris ends up settling with this woman out of court. That same year, in 2016, Chris gets in trouble again because he had hired some kind of manager to help him rehabilitate his bad image. But one day he allegedly gets mad at that guy and he flips out and he starts punching his own manager. And the manager ends up suing him. And once again, they settle out of court. And so bro just keeps going. Like, you can see a pattern here. Over the years, he's accused again and again and again of assaulting people and essaying many different women, including one time in 2020 on Diddy's yacht, where he allegedly essayed a dancer he met there. Because, you know, Chris and Diddy were apparently friends.
Yeah. They roll in packs. They roll in packs. Diddy and Chris. Chris and Diddy. You know, that's just the way it goes. So it's really weird. You know what's his behavior is common, quite honestly. Unfortunately, it's common. And that's not the weird part. The weird part is all the apologists, Chris Brown apologists, who keep giving him another chance just because of his talent. Because if he didn't have any talent, he'd probably be in prison right now.
In fact, since that first incident with Rihanna back in 2009, there has never been a time period where he wasn't dealing with some sort of serious accusation or assault charge. But then we get to what's going on with him recently. So it's 2023, and Chris is around 34 years old now, and he's on tour in the UK.
He looks much older, by the way. Chris Brown, if you see his... See, he is not aging well at all. You know, I won't say he's ugly. He's not ugly. I mean, but he looks strung out.
Hey, when one night he goes out to a nightclub in London. And there, Chris gets pissed off for some reason, probably over some dumb shit, and he allegedly picks up a bottle of tequila and boom, he smashes it over this music producer's head. And the music producer falls to the ground, laying there unconscious as Chris punches and kicks him.
Now, I don't know about you, but that's criminalistic. And only a criminal would say it wasn't.
And so, of course, local police put out a warrant for Chris's arrest, but by this time, he's already left the country. And 2 years go by. Now it's 2020.
Pause it. Like to say it. Shout out to Eden Adele in the house. Angela Reddick in the house. It's good seeing you. Happy Father's Day. Hey, everyone. Happy Father's Day to all the dads turning in. Let the shenanigans begin. Exactly, Eden. Welcome, everyone, tonight to Crime Sundays. Right now, we are going over Chris Brown and his wonderful behavior. He's just an amazing guy. He's such a nice person. Wouldn't hurt or fly. People, that's a different thing.
5. And Chris goes on tour again. And for the first time in
Let's Plateau in the house. Let's Plateau. It's good seeing you as well.
Years, he comes back to England. Once he's there in his hotel, boom, police arrest him. And I don't have a mugshot for this, but I do have this mugshot from 2018.
Susie Bear in the house. It's good seeing you, Susie Bear.
Where he got arrested for apparently assaulting a photographer that I didn't even have time to get into that story. Anyways, as of right now, he's out on bail and free to go on his tour. However, if he is found guilty of this 2023 assault, he's facing up to 16 years in prison. Hey, just reminding you that my entire...
great work by Ray, by the way. But what bothers me more is not Chris Brown's banditry, because he's honestly shown who he was and is for over 20 years, but the crackhead is still out. And yes, I will call him that. Allegedly. There's a pattern, and it's not helping him. He's going to get more help if he's getting help inside of some place. But if this keeps on, he's going to end up doing something that he cannot reverse. So Let's go on to Antonio.
3 here, and this is breaking overnight. There's a warrant out right now for this former NFL player's arrest on an attempted murder charge. I'm talking about controversial wide receiver Antonio Brown. That's according to the
Antonio Brown, I swear. When I am not a fan. I think he's a straight up bandit. But what I will say is this: he was one of the best wide receivers ever. I mean, he was ridiculous. Eden Adele breaks it down perfectly. Such a stellar example of all these things: manhood and leadership. Bars. Such an aspirational figure. A true high value main. Eden Adele talking about Chris Brown. And you know something though, Eden Adele, it even fits for Antonio Brown.
Documents reviewed and obtained by the Washington Post overnight. Remember, he was an Oakland Raider for a very brief stint in 2019, but was released by the Raiders before he even ever played a game. He played only the preseason. He injured his foot entering a cryotherapy chamber barefoot. He refused to wear his issued Raiders helmet, then got into a disagreement with then coach John Gruden online. That's the Raiders issue. Right now, law enforcement in Miami.
Bear nails it once again when it comes to Chris Brown. She says, it just goes to show you how evil people are and how self-hating Black women are to still be fans of him. Exactly.
Dade County is seeking to arrest him as this charge stems from a shooting Brown was allegedly involved in during a boxing event in Miami just last month. The warrant shows a charge of attempted murder with a firearm. It's also instructing Brown to post $10,000 bond and remain on house arrest until a possible trial. That's all according.
Maybe I should have labeled this live stream "Talented Bandits that are still, not in prison."
To the Washington Post. We are watching for details here from the live desk. He has not been arrested at this point, has not turned himself in. Kim, it's something we're going to keep close watch of here. Back to you at the desk, Kim.
Wow.
Talented
Right
Bandits.
outside that gate that you see behind me, overnight, right outside that gate, cameras rolling with Antonio Brown in handcuffs.
Oh. Wow. These are role models, y'all. These are role models. So, I find it really interesting that the manosphere, they're very quiet about this. They're not telling Black men to be better people. If you go to the manosphere today or whenever you get a convenient time, and you will see they are not saying anything about Chris Brown. They're not saying anything about Antonio Brown. Okay. They are not saying anything about these men, but they want Black women to follow these men. That's a concern. That's a problem.
Hey, don't let no one else in the gate. Florida Highway Patrol troopers detained Brown. Those troopers did so while Miami police sorted out what happened. Before anyone called 911, Miami police say shots fired detected gunfire near Northeast 2nd Avenue and 67th Street around 3 in the morning. Officers interviewed several people at a boxing event happening here, but arrested no one. Paramedics did evaluate a 38-year-old man.
Let me know if the sound is good. Put a 1 in the chat if the sound is okay. If not, let me know, and I can either increase the volume or lower it.
And who did not need treatment, but investigators found no one else hurt. Antonio Brown explains his role on his X account on social media, saying in part, quote, "I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Contrary to some video circulating, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story and then released me. I went home that night and was not arrested," end quote.
Okay.
You good, my boy? More than 12 hours later, Miami police officers returned to the venue. It's not clear why, but Brown says he is talking to his lawyers about pressing charges on those who jumped him.
So Antonio Brown, he would have been made an example in the, among men that he is a great leader. Even though we've seen him act crazy, but you know how it is, in our communities, basically people, especially, people like Danica Marie and you know, Raya and, you know, Chaz Charday, they will give these men a pass all day, every day. Because they do. They have men that act like this in their channel and in their panel and in their chat. That's probably their primary, you know, supporters. They do this easily, in my opinion, and they keep giving them passes.
Chelsea, tonight, Miami police tell us that they are investigating what happened here.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any more on him. So basically, let's see. I mean, I will at least give Antonio this. He's not quite as bad as Chris Brown is. That's not saying a whole lot, though. And it's funny because a lot of you probably would think, well, I would put something like this, torch. Why don't you put this, like, you know, on current events or you know, hot topic? No, these dudes belong on the crime channel. Just because they're famous or something doesn't mean that they need to be on another channel, because, you know, if it quacks like a duck, you know, Antonio Brown has had serious issues with women as well. Same thing. He's kind of like Chris Brown light, not nearly as bad in some ways, but has been accused enough that we could put him into the bandit sector, if you know what I mean. So I ain't gonna stop yet. Here's a brother right here. I will tell you right now, the concern I have about social media is it is a narcissist, sociopath magnet. They love themselves, hate themselves so much, they want everybody to see everything they do, even if it's causing a crime. Let me pause that. I think I have, here he is right here.
She not gonna go. I'm Big Brazy. I'm home now. Y'all through. You see the beat up. You want her like that? Cause that's how she going. You going on the internet. Tell them stop texting you. She ain't gonna go, bro.
Yo, YouTube. What's going on?
Is that crazy or what? He is literally, hey, that's fine. I think it's cost effective if when people self snitch on themselves. I want to play that one more time.
Y'all being this goofy ass inbox. She's not going for. She not gonna go. I'm Big Brazy. I'm home now. Y'all through. You see the.
She's beat the heck up. That is a shame. Wait, these can't be the same two. this can't be the same two. Wow, yeah. Kang, Susie Bear, Kangs. I don't know these niggas. I don't know these dudes.
Beat up. You want her like that? Cause that's how she going. You going on the internet. Tell them stop texting you. She ain't.
And you know what the shame of it all? I think it's her birthday too. So that's a funny thing. I really want to understand what the manosphere is complaining about. Because if this is what you have to offer women, regardless of race, why are you complaining about women if this is what you have to offer? The Hands and Feet Club is quite large. Let's just put it that way.
Ain't gonna go, bro.
Yo, YouTube. What's going on? Trip again to y'all in the video.
I mean, let's go forward. You want this guy out free. You want this. I want you guys to answer me. I want you guys to answer me. You want this dude out free.
As in the case of this story right here, where we have 35-year-old Edward Booker III, who was seen on social media, Snapchat to be exact, bragging after he done beat the living hell out of his ex-girlfriend. And to the ex-girlfriend, I do not know your name. Really, your name is not important, but hopefully you get this message. You need to wisen up and leave this man, because this man has been doing this to you for quite a long time. And family, this is not his first incident, as you all see. Now, he was just arrested last June, where he was charged with domestic violence. And guess how he got that domestic violence charge, family? He got that charge because he jumped on his baby mama. And just to give you all a little background to Edward Booker and also his baby mama, they say they have a child together, and also the lady is 8 months pregnant. Now, I'm not sure if she's pregnant by Edward Booker III because he had just recently got out of prison. So most likely she is pregnant by somebody else, and that's the reason why he made this video, because as he stated in the video, that multiple guys was texting her.
Tell him stop texting you. She ain't gonna go, bro.
But the same.
See, the issue is that the demented part of a lot of men's brains, they think they own women. That's why they put babies in women, by the way, because they truly feel like they own you. If you watch their behavior, it's consistent with that. They irresponsibly or purposely put a baby in you. They join the hands and feet club. Okay, and they use those two options to control women. That's just how it is.
Time she's 8 months pregnant, who in the hell is texting her? And also, what do you expect? Because number one, you have been going in and out of jail and prison for quite a while. So do you expect this woman to really wait on you? That's a damn shame right there. And notice, you are the ex.
I couldn't agree more with the man. Well, I mean, if you want a woman to be with you, if you want a woman to stay loyal, stay the heck out of prison.
That's a damn shame right there. And
Dude, I mean, in fact, it's not about being loyal. Shiz. Any mom in the house.
You are the ex. And like I tell you all.
Right. Thank you. Look, she just, oh man, she looks like she's out of it.
Ex is your ex for a reason. And now it all came to a head on May the 22nd, around 10 a.m. that morning, where the Mishawaka Police Department was notified of a domestic incident that had taken place at this residence. And no, I'm not going to show the exact house.
You want to know something though? That city, Washinaka, whatever it's called. Oh my God. When I couldn't even tell. There's a lot going on there.
Even though I know the exact house that this incident happened at, but this is the exact street where this incident had taken place. Now, after Mishawaka Police Department arrived on the scene around 10:56 a.m. that morning, they was notified that there was a woman inside and she was being held against her will by, once again, her ex-boyfriend. And the police were trying to gain entry into the residence, but Edward Booker III would not let them in. So while Mishawaka Police Department was on the scene going back and forth with Edward Booker III, they were trying to get him to open the door so they can gain access to the residence and check on the victim. But Edward Booker III would not open the door. And the way the Mishawaka Police Department was able to gain access to the residence was because his mom let them inside of the residence. Now, once the police department was inside of the residence, that's when Edward Booker III hopped out a back window and ran and fled, even though...
Now, that sounds... Hey, Angry Man, Poor Man's Podcast, Danica Marie, Chantel Simone. Des Tarday, come get your boy. Come get your boy. You heard me. Come get your boy.
The officer was trying to get him to stop. You know, quite naturally, he's not going to stop. But number one, he just got out of prison not too long before this whole incident taking place. And also, he has a history of domestic violence against this woman. Like, let me ask you all this question right here real quick. Why do women stay with abusive men? And also, why do some women love abusive men? And then when that man winds up hurting them or even killing them, The world expects us to feel sorry. Now, I feel sorry for the victim because, number one, she's a victim, but at the same time, ma'am, you have the power to stop this whole incident.
No, actually, that's where I disagree. Some people don't have the power. They don't have that kind of mental fortitude or that kind of strength. But at the same time, that doesn't mean they deserve to be damaged. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that just because a person doesn't have the strength to leave a bad situation doesn't mean they deserve to be hurt. I understand. It's like, look, it's like if you piss on a bear, something's gonna happen. But at the same time, some people don't have the strength. Some people need protection. This is one woman who did. Susie Bear says, of course, they always run from the grown men after beating women, children, and pets. Yes. Oh, man, Susie Bear, I'm glad you said that because I got some examples of that, too. Indiana Mom, it's actually the bad place in South Bend. It's actually really nice. She's talking about Washanaka. The bad place is South Bend, separated from Washanaka by a single street called Ironwood. Totally different school systems, too. Wow, thank you for letting me know, Indiana Mom. Here we go.
So the story continues to say that after Edward Booker III had jumped out the back window, the police officers was looking for him in this area, but they did not locate Edward Booker III until roughly 5 hours later. And you're never going to believe where he was at and also who he was with. Now, South Bend, Indiana Police Department was on patrol inside of these apartment complex, as you all see. And the name of these apartment complex goes by the name of Beacon Heights. Now, once South Bend, Indiana Police Department was inside this apartment complex, they went to the back area and they noticed a black Chevrolet Express vehicle with no license plate. So quite naturally, if the police see a vehicle and don't have no license plate and also have people inside of it, guess what the police gonna do? It's gonna stop and perform a search and see what's really going on. And now, family, this is where the story get real crazy at. Once South Bend, Indiana Police Department stopped the vehicle, they noticed a person got out. And guess who got out of the vehicle, family? Edward Booker III. And once Edward got out of the vehicle, they noticed a lady inside of the vehicle. Now, guess who the lady was? Now, Edward Booker III had the nerve to tell the police department that was his sister, and they just had a minor, small argument. But after further looking at the person inside of the vehicle, the police department noticed this was the victim from earlier in the day, who happened to be who? His ex-girlfriend, who happened to be also 8 months pregnant. Now, that's when Edward Booker III took off running, and the police was right behind him. So Edward Booker III decided to run behind one of these apartment buildings and run inside of somebody's apartment. Now, the story also says that it was a lady.
Wow, that sounds like some, yep, come get your boy. Come get your boy. Security boss, come get your boy. Kevin Samuels, if you were alive, you would come get your boy. MTR, come get your boy. Angry Man, definitely come get your boy, because this is what you guys produce. This is what you guys produce. I'm going to move forward. Here we go.
County deputies say an abduction leads to a high-speed chase. They tell us a man beat his ex-girlfriend, then locked her in the trunk of a car. This started last night at the Family Food Market on Euclid Avenue in DeLand. Deputies say the woman was...
No, this is a different dude. This is a Manosphere, come get your boy. Come get him.
Forced in the trunk on Margaret Street. Eventually, the chase ended on Julie Avenue in DeLand. News 6's Lauren Korn joins us now live from the Volusia County Jail, where this suspect is now being held right now. Lauren?
Yes, Lisa, and he's going to stay here. He's without bond. This isn't the first time he's been arrested. He spent 12 years in prison before getting out and going back to his ex-girlfriend, where deputies say he beat and kidnapped her.
Only place I've seen this stuff is on television.
Until Tuesday night.
Just got his hand out the window. I didn't deserve that.
We are not showing this woman's face, but you can hear her fight back tears describing how her ex-boyfriend, 42-year-old Darian Myler,
get your boy, Danica was talking some heavy shit earlier today. Here, come get your boy. Come get him. Oh, and who's that other woman? That one I just found out about. She needs to come get him too. Come get him. You guys want to defend him so bad. You worship men in general. You don't hold them accountable. So come get him. Because you're the ones who invented him. Maybe he saw your video on YouTube and how you were saying that, black women need to bow down to somebody like this. Come get him. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Come get him. You go down to that prison, jail, or wherever the hell he is, and I dare you to leave him in the room by yourself. Leave him in the room with you by yourself. Then let's see what happened. You won't do it, will you? No, you won't. Because you have more common sense than that. You have more common sense than that. You know he's crazy, but you know you got a bunch of these dudes in your channel. Diddy, you have them too. I've seen them on your panel. Shoot, remember when they used to get all mad when I said, just because I was saying something, they would get all mad. Remember that? Remember that, Diddy? Don't worry, Diddy. It's not all about you. It's not just you. It's Danica too. It's all the D's. Melanie. How about you hang out with dude? Melanie King. Yeah, how about you hang out with dude? You see how it goes. See how it goes. You'll be okay because, you just need to worship a little bit. That's all. You just need to worship a little bit. Don't get that mad at me because I'm just telling you, you defend men like this all the time. So continue to defend them. Continue. I mean, here you go. That's it. Just girl talk. She be talking that shit too. Just girl talk be talking that shit too. By the way, all of these people I'm mentioning, do not, I swear to God, do not bother them. I'm just making sure you know who they are so you can tell. Nah, just never mind. If they want to talk that shit, they talking that shit, but leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Yeah, just girl talk. She talks that shit. You need to see what's going on. You need to understand what I mean here for a minute. So let me bring her up here for a minute because I don't want to misrepresent her. So let's let her show you how she is. Here we go.
Again, Black women are quick to say, we're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. But I'm watching you repeat the same thing that she just said, that she just said, that she just said, that she just said. When did
what? I'm getting beat up by my boyfriend? Is that what they're saying? Is that what they're saying? Just girl talk? Oh, I just got hands and feet. Black women, they refer to, getting hurt hands and feet because, you don't want to use, the nasty language right on YouTube, right? So you're gonna go ahead and defend. Let's let her roll. Let's let her roll. Let's let her defend. Let's defend your brothers. Defend your brothers. Come on.
Pick me become the monolithic term. When did pick me become the monolithic term?
You're a pygmy. And I have just the guy right here. Pick him. Because obviously there's nothing wrong with black men, right? If you're talking all that kind of shit, right? If you're talking all that kind of shit, there's obviously nothing wrong with the black men, right?
Like, I'm telling you, it's literally verbatim.
Yeah, it is verbatim. What part of I got beat up is hard is monolithic? It's a monolithic situation. That's what's going on. A monolithic situation gets a monolithic result. The result is these men are all over the place.
Beat and kidnapped her before locking her in the trunk.
I thank God for making me the strong woman that I am.
Deputies say Myler punched her repeatedly and stuffed her in the trunk after she gave him a ride to Margaret Street.
Please answer that right there. Answer. Say something. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what's going down. That's what's going down.
Miami Gardens man in court on child abuse charges today. Investigators say he beat his girlfriend's toddler so badly he cracked ribs and caused internal bleeding. Local 10's Leanne Hong live now with more on this. Leanne.
Now, I understand that the media is hard on Black men. But why do we give them so much footage is the problem. JPZ, it's good seeing you. Susie Bear's in the house, in the house. Here we go.
And we're still working to get an update on that child's condition. That child, just 2 months shy of his second birthday, was brought here to Holtz Children's Hospital at Jackson. The doctor who examined him said those injuries he sustained could not have come from anything else but child abuse. Quindell Pigat faces.
I was hoping I was wrong, and it might have been, some person from, some other culture or something like that. Oops.
Is a charge of child abuse with great bodily harm. The 23-year-old faced a bond court judge Thursday morning.
These are some very terrible allegations.
Police say Pigat was taking care of his girlfriend's 22-month-old son at her home in Miami Gardens when he called her to say the boy had fallen down. When she got home, she found him in pain and with visible injuries and took him to the hospital. The arrest form says, quote, the victim sustained 8 fractured ribs. Blood was observed to the internal chest, outside the lungs, and right above the kidney. His liver was lacerated, and he had trauma to his intestines.
The victim also had evidence of soft tissue swelling on his scalp, forearms, thighs, and compression fractures on the spine.
It goes on to say that in the examining doctor's medical opinion, this case represents severe child physical abuse.
Wow. As Susie Bear says, I bet her mother abandoned her. It's always mammies like this who hate other women, other Black women. Yeah. She acts like her panties get that, when Black women are abused. Yeah, true. I would bet money she's just as hateful. Barge
is out on felony bond, and the state is requesting a hold for the division judge.
No one was home when we came to the door to find out more about the child's condition. DCF says they've now opened their own investigation.
I'm going to agree with the state. I'm going to increase the bond and do a bond plus house arrest.
I hear that. I don't see how they're letting him out. What, to finish the job? What? That's what gets me. What are you letting him out for? I mean, to finish the job? That's what happens a lot, by the way. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I said hello. So let me go. JPC says hello to everybody. Here we go.
Now to a case of child abuse in Dallas that left a 7-month-old girl with terrible injuries. Police say this man.
Oh my God.
Miss Jackson assaulted his.
Let me guess. The 7-month-old girl wasn't submissive enough, right? Is that what it is? She wasn't submissive enough? What was it? She wasn't submissive enough? I mean,
it's verbatim. And
yeah. You know what's funny is I was playing all these news things, and they're talking about how a child's getting beat up, and it's like, then she says, yeah, it's verbatim. Yeah, this is how about monolithic behavior? How about that? Men have men in our community have a monolithic behavior, which then entails the result is Black women make monolithic statements about the monolithic behavior they're experiencing from these men, who you support, by the way.
As I said before, I think the biggest problem is, which no one wants to really talk about, or they kind of they overlook it, because
yeah, you do overlook this. You do overlook this. You do. You overlook this man right here.
His girlfriend and her daughter inside their Oak Cliff apartment. Sources tell us it started after Jackson found old text messages on her telephone. Investigators say he was so brutal the baby suffered a skull fracture, brain bleeding, and broken ribs. Tonight,
JPC says, can you help me understand the definition of monolithic? I thought it meant big. No, it means same, basically a fancy word of saying same. Yes, monolithic can be seen as big, but it's in the way that they're using it, it means the same, like everybody's making the same response, or everybody's a fan of this one person, or the talking points are the same. Kind of like feminine, friendly, and submissive is a monolithic statement. That's what it basically means.
Jackson is locked up.
Or getting hit with or joining, well, I kind of like made it up myself, but I call it joining the Hands and Feet Club is a monolithic statement as well.
Facing charges of injury to a child and family violence.
Let me pause that. So I think that, I think it's enough of that. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay, here we go. This is about the story of Manny and Vinny, or Vinny and Manny, and the way they made Bubbles pay for their stupidity. Here we go.
The other side of the street, they heard those gunshots and immediately started running toward the sound of the gunfire. They located 2 people on the sidewalk with gunshot wounds, rendered medical aid, but unfortunately they both died.
I thought I was gonna say yayo, because I thought it said yayo, because I ain't got my.
This is from one of my favorite channels, Black Girl Lost. This is so sad. Here we go.
Glasses on, but no, it said don't play with my yo-yo.
So here's your leader right here. He was married. This is your leader right here. So, you believe in Black male leadership, correct? And so Black women are monolithic, right? Let's hear some more.
Comment on I'm going to actually pull it up for y'all, because I got this comment on my latest video that I dropped this earlier today. And the comments, again, if you look at the comments on a lot of these, from a lot of these women, the comments are pretty much the same. Like, they say the same thing, they repeat the same thing, but they also comment the same stuff. And it's,
well, maybe they're going over the same, because they're going through the same shit. How about that? And it's funny because I guarantee you, if I looked on her channel a little bit more and went through her videos, I could find some feminine, friendly, and submissive crap, or some Chantel Simone shit, or some Danica Marie shit, because they're all the same.
He's been talking about killing this guy for a while now on his page. You can't do that. And then he went and tracked him down and murdered him in cold blood in front of everybody.
Can you guys hear it okay? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it. Here we go. Susie Bear says this: Black women have made it so that Black men get lenient sentences, bars, for their violence that's actually directed towards them, ironically. They have advocated and lobbied and the S out of Congress and courthouses, bars. Yeah. And it's people like this. And that's she's one of the reasons, not the only reason, no. But she's one of the reasons that these monsters are out there. Because they badmouth women so much that men start to lose value in their lives. It's one thing to lose value in Black women, fine, whatever. But then when you get it to the point where these monsters feel like they're better than Black women, they have no problem putting hands and feet at the very least on these women. Maybe I'll bring up Danica next. Maybe I'll ask her some questions.
These guys are fighting over social media clout and killing each other in the streets. It's insane.
Yeah. It is insane. It really is insane. Here we go.
They were doing like streaming events or something like that. And from what I heard, he shot another guy. Was walking Vegas Boulevard from north to south, and suddenly I saw a lot of police cars.
We're gonna stream tonight. I got a couple videos of Manny cheating. I know that's crossing the line.
So this man right here, the wonderful leader, the wonderful male leader, right, that she would defend, right? That she would defend. He got his woman killed. His wife killed. Got her deleted. Could have left her at home. You know, no baby, stay at home. You never know about the streets. I'll check it out. See what time it is. He found out. He found out. Corsia in the house. Get seen Corsia.
Bro code, but hey, he started.
Let's fast forward.
What began as another lively evening on the Las Vegas Strip, a place known for lights, music, and energy, quickly turned into a scene of devastation and disbelief. Just before 11 p.m. on Sunday night, in front of the iconic Bellagio fountains, a moment of violence unfolded that has left an entire community reeling. Popular YouTuber Finny and his wife, known affectionately online as Bubbly, were senselessly gunned down as shocked tourists watched the horror unfold in real time. The terrifying part? The entire incident was live streamed, broadcast not just to bystanders, but to thousands watching from behind their screens.
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Hold on one second. I gotta crack my neck real quick. Okay. So yeah. Right in front of Bellagio Towers. I mean, not towers, but fountain.
According to police,
look at her defending her man. That's the sad part.
Officers were on routine patrol when they heard gunshots.
So pretty in that. She looks so pretty in this picture too. It's like, dang, you know.
Shots ring out and rush toward the chaos. What they discovered was a scene that would soon make headlines around the world. The suspected shooter, another content creator known online as Sin City Manny Wise, a rival of Finny's, who has since turned himself into authorities. Police have confirmed this wasn't random. This was personal, targeted, a result of festering online drama that spilled dangerously into real life. We're talking about two content creators.
Henry Mars. Yep. Old Manny, sociopath Manny.
Who have been
In my opinion.
in an ongoing feud for over a year. When this rivalry first started, both of their channels had fewer than 8,000 subscribers. What began as internet drama escalated to a point no one could have predicted. And in the end, it cost two people their lives.
That is so true. Corsia says that beef is exactly why I have no desire to make my YouTube stuff public. There are haters who get on your cack and just for commenting bars. Yeah, these people are They're nutty. They're nutty. Henry Mars in the house. Here we go.
You see, on YouTube, the line between fair use and copyright infringement is razor thin. For many creators, navigating that space is a storm in itself. And until you've been through it, until you faced it firsthand, you don't really know how you'll react when your channel gets hit with a copyright strike. That one strike, it can trigger panic. Because here's the reality. If you receive 3 strikes within a 90-day period, your entire channel can be taken down.
Yep, that's true. JPZ says, Corsia, if you go to a bar, you're dealing with people with jobs and some social skills. On the internet, you're dealing You're dealing with a lot of people who are antisocial, mentally weak, and unemployed. Bars.
Just like that. Unless you're familiar with copyright law and understand how to respond legally, you might find yourself overwhelmed, frustrated, and even angry. And that's when things can spiral out of control. That's exactly
that shit does.
Exactly what happened last year when a YouTuber going by the name Manny Rise, also known online as Sin City Manny Wise, or sometimes just Manny D, issued not 1, but 2 copyright strikes against another creator. Those strikes went through, and they landed on the channel of a rising YouTuber known as Finny.Legend, a creator with a steadily growing platform and just over 2,000 subscribers at the time. In response, Finny took to his own channel to call Manny out publicly. He aired out the situation, named names, and didn't hold back. Not only that, he went a step further. Finny created a backup channel using a twist on Manny's own nickname, Sin City. It was bold. It was personal. He even went as far as saying that he had video evidence of Manny cheating on his wife and would air that out on the channel as well.
Dang, see, yep. It's crazy. It is crazy. Susie Bear says, Corsia, yeah, don't do it. There are people who have no job, unproductive, lazy as AF, yep. Yet they will put in all their brain power and energy in order to, S&D you, yep. That is so true, exactly.
It was clear this feud wasn't dying down anytime soon. Shortly after, Finny made an announcement. His main channel was reinstated. Things seemed to be turning around.
What up, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. My fault. My day is all jacked up. But quick video. Woke up this morning. Shout out Sin City family. They got our last 2 videos taken down. It don't matter. We're going to keep doing it. But I do need y'all help this time. Just one time for your boy. I never ask y'all for nothing. I never do. I never ask y'all to subscribe nothing. But this time I'm going to ask y'all. Can y'all subscribe to the new channel? Sin City Finny on YouTube. I'm a part of the family now. I'm the Black Stepchild. Manny accepted me in. So I need y'all to go over there, subscribe to that channel. I'm going to put the link in the description. I need y'all to go subscribe, get that one up, because just in case this one gets taken down, we got another avenue that we can still talk to the people. So yeah, can y'all please go subscribe to that channel? Manny got the other videos taken down. I didn't do it. Sin City family did it. But one thing they did is they accepted me into the family. I'm the Black Stepchild now. So go subscribe to Finny, Sin City Finny. I'll put the description in the link. Shout out to Sin City family. We're gonna stream tonight. I got a couple videos of Manny cheating. I know that's crossing the line, crossing the bro code, but hey, he started it. He crossed the line first. So yeah, we got some videos. We're gonna go live tonight. Come on, y'all. When I go check that thing, let me see. I got some subscribers over there, man. So we could keep this going. Y'all say y'all like it.
Yeah, Henry Mars, more Dusties, endless supply of Dusty.
So go subscribe to Sin City Finny. Get those subscribers up over there, and let's see what their next move gonna be. Make your next move your best move.
And then on his new channel, Sin City Finny the Legend. This is what he had to say about Manny once on there, and a platform that have less than 1,000 subscribers.
What up, YouTube? Shout out to Papa Dolls in the back. Quick little video. And no, I don't work at Papa Dolls. But if you want to come up there and ask for Finny, go ahead. But we ain't gonna be streaming on this channel tonight. We back to Finny the Legend. Shout out to YouTube for having a heart. Shout out to.
Okay, so he got back. So basically, it sounds like he got back onto his channel. So they reversed the whatever, the strikes or whatever, or they worked something out. Angela Reddick in the house. He made the beef too personal. Bars.
Patty, for thinking you was shutting us down. You ain't shutting shit down, boy.
This is where he made his mistake. I'm going to read JPC's message. Finny was a man with a potential. In real world, that was the king of the bunch of people who were real life flunkies. He caught up he got caught up in being a king. They were heavily influencing his life decisions. Okay. So basically what you're saying is that basically they were telling him what to do, or they were telling him what they hope he would do or something like that, and he would try to oblige. Okay. So basically back to Finny here. Finny got his channel back. Now, here's what YouTube probably hopes you'll do, is that you'll just let the beef go and you'll just move on because they gave you your channel back. That didn't happen. In fact, he did the opposite. He exacerbated the problem. Here we go.
You ain't shutting shit down. We coming back tonight. Finny the Legend style. We're gonna be on one. Sorry about all the noise. I'm taking me a little break from the job. But,
now, if YouTube was smart, as soon as they got wind of this video, and what they could have done is you can do a custom flag on a channel, I bet. And what they could have done is put in keywords. So if they heard Manny's name came up in one of his videos, and it was in a very, let's say it kind of crossed the line, they can just pull down his channel. And if they pulled his channel, just quite possibly, Finny might be still alive. Here we go.
Everybody come tune in tonight. If you want to join in, join in. We learning this YouTube thing. Shout out to Stephen Campbell, Not Leaving Las Vegas. Shout out to everybody that helped us along this way. We strike free now, y'all. Tune in. I'm going to put it in the description, the link to the channel. Y'all all should know the channel already, but tune in tonight. We're going to do our thing, our thug thizzle.
But then,
let me pause it right there. Corsia, perfectly well said. People think that online likes are real life love bars. And Corsia, you nailed it, because they get really obsessive about that. It is a sign of growing mental illness problem and social skill gaps. Bars. Touch some dang grass, and not the 3D printed kind. Bars.
and tragedy struck. Not long after that final update, Finny the Legend and his wife, Bubbly, were both dead, gunned down in broad daylight in front of stunned tourists and live stream viewers who could only watch in horror. What should have been another night on the Las Vegas Strip quickly became the setting of an unimaginable crime. According to one TikToker who had been following the drama closely, this wasn't some heat-of-the-moment decision. This was premeditated, a calculated act that had been planned for weeks, maybe even months. In fact, Manny, also known online as Sin City Manny Wise, had allegedly spoken multiple times about handling things in person. His threats weren't subtle. He hinted at retaliation. He leaned into the conflict, and over time, his words grew darker, more intense. Those who were paying attention say he wasn't just venting online. He was laying out a blueprint, and eventually, he followed through.
All right, so this is YouTuber Manny Wise, aka Manny D. He thinks he owns Las Vegas, I guess, and nobody else can do any kind of social media or influencing here in Las Vegas if you ask Manny. Well, Manny got into it with a guy named Finny, who's another influencer, and they've been going back and forth on social media for a while now, to where this is a premeditated murder one homicide. He's been talking about killing this guy for a while now on his page. You can't do that. And then he went and tracked him down and murdered him in cold blood in front of everybody. These guys are fighting over social media clout and killing each other in the streets. It's insane.
This isn't just another story of YouTube beef gone too far. This is a tragedy, a devastating loss of 2 lives, taken in the name of internet clout and digital rivalry. We followed their journey.
I can say this: the judges are going to start. Judges in the legislature and law enforcement is now they're going to be watching a little bit closer these situations now. They're going to be taking them more seriously. They have no other option.
We laughed at their content. Some of us felt like we knew them. And now we're left mourning 2 creators whose lives were cut short over likes, shares, and petty online disputes. To every content creator out there, grinding to make a name, to build a brand, to reach an audience, we need to have this conversation. Why are people dying over digital drama? What's driving this escalation from comments and callouts to violence and death? Is the culture of content creation pushing people past the point of no return? How many more lives have to be lost before we truly understand the consequences of turning conflict into entertainment? Drop your thoughts below.
Yeah, let me make this clear. This has really nothing to do. It has something to do with them going back and forth, but a lot of it has to do with the pathology of the people involved. Manny was going to do this to somebody sooner or later because that's who Manny is. That's why more than likely he's probably seen his last day outside a cell. Because there's really, quite honestly, there's no way you can help somebody like this reform. So that's my take on it. I don't even know who Manny is. I don't like or hate him, but I've seen by his pattern of behavior, basically he doesn't belong out in the regular population. He just simply doesn't. There's a lot of men like that too. A lot. A lot of them are on YouTube. That's the sad part. Let's get a different angle on this. Let's go to Finny the Legend's channel for one moment. This is his actual channel. What I mean is it's important for me to show you just a little taste of his channel, just so you know that what I'm saying I ain't lying. This is him. Let me go back. Now this is Fremont Street, and they got this globe. I mean, this is cool. I've been there a few times, and it's very, very nice, very interesting. A lot of street performers who Manny, I believe, was, and what Finny is doing is basically showing what's going down on the streets. You know, I mean, not in the streets, but in Fremont Street. Yeah, Fremont Street. So it's covered. That's basically it. That's all it is. People walking around.
Henry Ruggs, baby. Yeah, I see you.
Hey. You take pictures on Fremont? Yeah. Come get your pictures
your pictures? There you
That voice, that's Bubbly right there.
go.
Oh, he got some good shit, y'all. Look at these glamour photos.
You better save energy.
Hard-headed titties we looking for.
I got to be careful because that music, you know.
Jeepers Creepers in the building, y'all.
Okay. So anyway, that's basically what's going down. That's Finny's channel is still up. And yeah, and it's just basically showing. I mean, it seems like it's like I don't see how they got into their beef. I mean, I do know how they got into their beef, but I don't see why. I mean, do you know how many people film? You know,
now of course with the shooting.
That's not the one I want. I want the one that shows. Okay, I must not have it on here. I'll make a part 2 of that. But basically, yeah. It's sad. It's really sad, y'all. Let me go. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay. This is the update.
Vocal now.
We saw the whole thing. I recorded it, and I want to make the report that we see that person actually take out a gun and shoot somebody. We don't know if the other person's dead.
Chaos on the Strip as we hear witness calls to police to report a YouTuber charged with killing a married couple in front of the Bellagio fountains. Those 911 calls you're hearing first.
Hey, keep the Bellagio out of your mouth. It was basically on the Strip, really. It wasn't really. I mean, the Bellagio fountain is on the Strip, but it's really the Bellagio is like a good football field away from that area where the thing happened. No, a good maybe 2 football fields away.
On 8 News Now, thank you for joining us at 4. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
And I'm Brian Loftus. Now, the Clark County District Attorney says the killings were needless and senseless.
Yeah.
8 News Now reporter Joshua Peguero was in the courtroom today for the shooter's hearing.
Manuel Ruiz had his second.
Susie Beer says Fremont is the ghetto part. Would never go around there at night. And since they got rid of the old sign museum, there's no reason to go. Bars. I mean, yeah. Basically, it's too risky now.
Court appearance on Thursday as he's being held without bail. Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson said.
Let me drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up. I almost forgot. I got so much into this Finny and Manny thing. Angela says had no reason to unalive Finny's wife. Yeah, that's quite honestly, Angela. That's what's going to get him either the D penalty, or life in prison, because he might have been able to get off with a manslaughter beef. But he literally ran down that woman and unalived her when it was clear she was not posing any type of threat.
In the courtroom, where he later said the death penalty is a possibility.
I believe that justice will be served, but I want to assure this community and this country that Las Vegas is a safe place to visit.
Ruiz, who goes by the name Sin City Manny on YouTube, walked into Judge Amy Cellini's courtroom shackled. He's facing 2 open murder charges. Police say he killed Rodney and Tanisha Finley Sunday nights in front of the Bellagio fountains.
The motivation is pretty clear. It's been reported pretty extensively that these individuals knew each other and had an ongoing feud.
The Finleys are YouTubers who go by the name Finny the Legend. The feud between them and Ruiz allegedly began Halloween of 2023. The Finny the Legend live stream captured the shooting, with several people calling 911 to report it.
He calls himself Sin City Family.
That's what it is. Manny didn't know that the video caught him. So he initially thought he was going to get away with it. Oh, that because I was wondering why was he that stupid. He probably didn't know the camera was still pointed enough at them and that they could bring it in. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, there must be at least 300 cameras in that area. They probably got footage we will never see. It is so, yeah.
That's their YouTube channel, Sin City Family.
Family.
And
Okay,
then-
was he the one that was shot?
No, he's the one that shot the other guy that we were watching on live.
An arrest report says Ruiz shot Rodney twice in the head and several times in the arm, and he shot Tanisha in the back of the head. Ruiz says the shooting was self-defense, a claim District Attorney Steve Wolfson strongly disputed.
I think it's probably garbage. There's no indication.
He's not really supposed to say that, but he's got a little bite to him. That's all I can say. But he's right. But but let's see what he says.
From any of the evidence at all that self-defense would be a viable defense. No weapons were found near the victims, on the victims.
Ruiz said in court he's looking to hire a private attorney. His
JPZ says, DJ Torch, it takes tragedies like this to get our attention. So while it has our attention, how do we make something positive out of it? I think basically, JPZ, I think first of all, I think YouTube has some culpability in this because they let it fester, they let it happen. They should have been sending out letters to both of these guys saying, look, if you want to be on YouTube, you're gonna have to act right. So if you guys want to get on a beef circuit, then you can beef circuit, in your own living room. That's what I think. That's number one, because I'm naming YouTube first just because they were the initial counter. If these people would have never met each other or met up with each other again without the help of YouTube. Secondly, the law enforcement just has to take these online beefs a little bit more seriously, because this isn't the first time. JPZ, you know something? You know the originators of online beefs and terminations is probably drill rappers. They do this stuff like it's normal. I mean, they literally do this stuff like normal. You can look in the news. It's like they are going back and forth either in a track or on YouTube or both. Not YouTube, but just social media, because there's more than just YouTube. Going back and forth, talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna blankety blank, and then the next guy goes, I'm gonna blankety blank, and the next thing you know, 3 days later, well, we know what happens. The deletion party starts, and then the next thing you know, they're on they're in a courtroom, and there's just some people that just have no impulse control whatsoever, and unfortunately, it's a large portion of people. Enough that it's a concern.
next scheduled appearance before a judge is on July 3rd. Reporting in downtown Las Vegas, Josh Briguero, 8 News Now.
District Attorney Steve Wolfson, who we heard from there, describing the shooting in front of the
bar, Susie. It's insane how some of these social media personalities and celebrities can have all these fans, yet still be bat-shite crazy. Bars.
de Blasio as an isolated incident, actually points out that crime is down on the Las Vegas Strip. We have a full article about the story. You'll find that over on our website, where you can read more of what Clark County DA Steve Wolfson says about what happened in court.
Tattoo artistry being one of her greatest passions. With her innate.
Let me pause that right there. Susie Bear says, I bet his fans will continue to make excuses for him, and we'll take care of him while he's in, and we'll take care of him while he's in prison. They probably will, at least until they pass away, because he ain't getting out of prison for a while. I think he'll get probably maybe I don't know, 150 years. I don't know, whatever the thing is. if he gets the death penalty, he definitely. I don't know if he earned the death penalty, to be honest with you. I like to. This was a maybe no death penalty. The DP could be in the mix. I shouldn't be saying that word, but yeah. I think it's the X and DJ. He wasn't well disguised. Oddly, I feel that he didn't care if he was seen, which also makes me think he may not have intended to take it to that until the moment. I would say you're saying he really didn't plan it. He planned to be there and maybe scare them, but then for some reason the adrenaline kicked in, and he did what he did. That's what you're basically. I think that's what you're thinking. Could be. Angela Ruddock. He executed Finney's wife. Yeah, that was terrible. That was horrible. Yeah, and the thing is that that's what whether it was premeditated or premeditated, it was premeditated, in my opinion. I mean, the thing is this: even if that assumption was true about him not really wanting to do it, I believe that he gave. The evidence tells the evidence looks like it's otherwise. That assumption you made, JPZ, is very much close. I mean, it's a strong argument, but I think it will lose to the facts and the fact that he left. He didn't have to. The fact that he took out Bubbly too. I think that just ruined all his chances right there. They probably, at least if I was a law person, I'd say, hey, look. Maybe you didn't mean to do this, but you did it, and not only that, but you went out of your way to do it, and that might be enough to win the premeditation trophy. Yeah, exactly. The evidence looks premeditated. Concrete Ghost to the stage. It's good seeing you.
Can you even hear me today?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound great. So what do you think? What are your thoughts right now?
We don't really have the laws and policy in place right now, but we have to hold these platforms accountable some kind of way. We don't really lose out on having these beefs because that means more clicks, more interaction, more people with eyes on the commercials. YouTube, Twitch, whatever platform, they have to do better at monitoring escalating conflicts and responding to actual reports of harassment and dangerous behavior. I'm sure there's people right now in your audience who've been harassed by some idiot online.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
They have to take it seriously, even though it's wrapped up in sarcasm or clout chasing. Words turn into actions.
Absolutely. I think what's going to happen is that these obviously it seems like to me well, believe it or not, to me this is how I rate it. TikTok is pretty decent at resolving issues. Twitch is okay. Facebook is pretty decent. I would say that there are YouTube is overwhelmed. They need another building of processors, if you know what I mean. And they claim that they have this state-of-the-art system, AI system, right? But it's not working that well. And this is a perfect example. This is perfect evidence. They can say it's working great, but in my experience and in other people's experiences, and this means people I know and don't know, it's kind of a little iffy. It's a little bit iffy. Don't get me wrong. If they didn't have the whatever system they have in place right now, it would be pure bedlam. But let's put it this way. I won't say it's good or bad, but I will say there's some work to be done.
On multiple parties. Everybody needs to stop feeding these flames. Stop clicking on drama just because it's messy. Stop turning every disagreement into a war for attention. Creators need to learn how to log off when it gets heavy. Get some therapy if they need it. get some space, touch some grass.
I
The
love that
words
fact.
in the comment section is not the same as having your peace. And we need the platforms to step up too. And don't wait till somebody's unalive to flag a video. We all use the technology to track real tension. We need to flag those threats. We need to intervene early. And us as the people, we need to hold each other down and not tear each other up. You need to check in on your people when you know they go too far, help them de-escalate, unfollow the foolishness, whether it's YouTube, Facebook. No views are worth a funeral and no cloud is worth a casket.
Thank you. Wow. The bars. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that was the way you put that was just perfect. It was perfect. I want to get your opinion on this video right here.
And this Za is not the same Za. I call it chemical Za. The old Za, bro, it used to make life beautiful. You go to the park.
4 to 5 blunts a day, honestly.
Bro, that's a lot, bro.
Like,
I am way too high. Damn, why I'm this high. I remember growing up seeing those commercials saying don't do meth, stay away from meth, don't do drugs. Or even those cigarette commercials with the lady that had to talk like this. With
T-Buggy, he's starting to grow on me. He's got some good content. But basically what his live stream is about is weed ruining our generation. So they're saying there's a new kind of weed out there that's, I guess it's stronger or whatever, right? But is it ruining our generation? I know of a lot of things that are ruining our generation, but what do you think about that aspect?
I mean, it's more accepted, but that doesn't mean that it's harmless. Compared to other things, yeah, it's harmless. I mean, if you compare weed and meth, you'd be like, oh, weed is harmless. Right. But attitudes around cannabis have really just changed a lot. And it's even legal in states and sold in clean packages and marketed like wellness herbs and, excuse me, used medicinally. And that's fine. But just because something is legal and normalized doesn't mean that it's risk-free, especially for our young people. If they're not given the knowledge and the skills to fully comprehend what they are doing to their bodies, how to manage the effects, then we're just handing them another life poison. Because some people can function on it. Some people let it ruin their life.
Yeah. Yep. Especially when it gets to the point where it's not like it's super unhealthy for you, but the behavior around it is unhealthy. Like I remember being on the job, and this guy came in reeking like weed in the type of environment that you do not want to come in reeking like weed to work, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you know you've taken it too far. I feel it's not even before it's illegal. If you're so hooked on weed to the point where it's affecting your employment, not job performance, but like you're literally risking your employment because you know you're not supposed to be there high or smelling like you're high. Because remember now, it's not like a bell or we have like a little red light that comes on the top of our head if somebody smokes weed, if you know what I mean. It's so they have the only sign that a lot of people have is, and including law enforcement, is the way you smell. So don't get me wrong, some people are very surgical about it. They wash their clothes, you know what I mean? They have their mouth washed, they brush their teeth, but usually those people are functioning weed smokers, if you know what I mean. The concern I have are with the people that they have the talent for the job they do, but for some reason they lower their guard on on the type of etiquette you need to keep your job, and you go into your job smelling like weed. All I know is this: is I've seen people, come to the job one too many times smelling like weed, and didn't see them anymore.
I'm just really worried about the youth because too many of them are using it to escape and self-medicate, or even just fit in socially, and it's not being used for wellness or medication. And whatever they have today, we know that is way stronger than previous generations. There's been all kind of scientific studies done on it. We know that it raises the risk of psychosis in teens with a family history of mental illness. So you have that in your background and it unlocks something. And the human brain doesn't fully develop until you're around 25 or so, especially in that prefrontal cortex. And that's the part that's responsible for decision making and impulse control and judgment. And we have the research that says regular weed use before that age can increase memory and learning problems, decrease motivation, increase anxiety and depression. We know this as a fact. But we're not taking it seriously. We'll say, drinking is bad. We need to have the same conversation about weed. When you're an adult, you can do what you want. If you want to put that poison in your body and it's legal, then you do so. But we got to arm our young people with the knowledge, because people are saying it's harmless, and it's not. If it was harmless, you're making a purposeful act to put this substance in your body, and it makes you feel different. Just because you feel different, that is sign that it's not nothing. It's something. And we need to understand what that something is and what it does to our bodies and our minds, especially if you're a young person.
Bars, straight up bars. I think it's, I don't know. I think it really is affecting. And the thing is that, believe it or not, it affects our culture more because we're the ones who are wearing that stereotype. Number one. Number two, it's that instead of being, getting like, you might get frustrated and then trying to resolve the issue another way. They don't. They smoke weed, and then that's that. I will say this about weed. At least it doesn't seem to be. I shouldn't say that. I should ask you: do you feel that weed could turn somebody, let's say, on the verge into someone dangerous, or do you believe it would do more so the opposite of that?
I think it depends on the individual. I think in general, it probably goes towards the opposite. But my personal feeling is weed isn't ruining all our youth, but it's definitely numbing their potential of so many who already feel lost. So it's not about judging. It's about asking, who could these people be if they didn't feel the need to escape?
Right.
Being numb shouldn't be a lifestyle goal. But I remember giggling along with was Afro Man until I got high. I remember laughing at that. But being numb is not a life.
Right. Yeah, Phoenix Soul says, I've never heard of someone taking, a life while smoking herb. I haven't either.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take someone else's life. They're just kind of tapping on theirs. I know of people who, they love the herb. They don't work. They live for smoking. They don't support their families as they need to because they embrace that numbness, that low key, nothing's wrong. I'm just going to sit here and chill, play video games. Everything's all right kind of feeling. So that's not directly hurting somebody else. I mean, indirectly it will, but it's directly hurting some people who just can't handle being without. They seem to become a little too dependent on that easy feeling that they get, the numbness, that tuning everything out.
Yeah. Phoenix Soul nailed it as well. I think you both are on the same wavelength. They don't have any ambition for sure. And you know, you want to know something? If you're rich and talented, you can afford to do that to a point. I mean, obviously, not to a point where you stop going in the studio. That's a problem. But you have that luxury because you have money in the bank. A lot of people don't have that luxury. And I've literally overheard people say, "Oh, I'm not going in today. I don't feel like it. I had some, I had some bud, and I'm just going to go ahead and just, you know." And I don't know. It just seems to de, I want de-escalate's not the word, right? Deprioritize their prioritize. I mean, deprioritize important things like work, cleaning up, that kind of stuff. JPZ says smoking cannabis isn't bad as other drugs, but it's still a negative factor in life. It's not of God. It's a tool for the devil. I'm not judging. I occasionally have a drink and alcohol is I occasionally have a drink and alcohol is worse. Yeah, alcohol, ooh, it can, yeah. Good, very good point, JPZ. I'm just opposed to people not manning up and admitting it's negative. Bars.
I mean, for some people, the weed helps anxiety, but for others, it might trigger it.
Right.
And it's too easy these days. I mean, you can know your dealers or wherever you get it from. It's too easy to have stuff slipped in there. I went to school with a dude who had some weed, and it was laced with they call dip. Dude jumped off a roof.
Yeah, and that's the other problem. I should have. That's you just made a very important part. Another problem with weed. So we cannot, and we got to make it clear that we're not implicating weed just by itself, but it works so well for people with other things, other drugs, whether it be alcohol, whether it be, a touch of this. I heard just I got this from a movie, by the way. What was it? It was the Thieves movie part 2, where they put pixie dust in with it and some other stuff. And it's like, so the problem is it inspires some people of using harder stuff later, and that's the problem. Like they'll mix it in with the weed and get that experience or whatever it is, whether it be the pixie dust is one, or ecstasy and some other stuff. So that's the problem, is that makes it, I think it also makes it easier. Back in the day, they call it a gateway drug. And that was the big problem, is that a lot of people, they would think they're going to stop at weed, but they wouldn't stop at weed.
Yeah, I'm right there with Phoenix. Just like with any drug, it depends on the person, the dose, and what's going on in their life. Yeah, no one gets violent on weed. It's like saying alcohol always makes people fun, and it's really just not that simple.
Right. I mean, alcohol, it can be all the way from fun, bubbly, and relaxed to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Exactly.
And JBT says, yeah, it may help anxiety, but there are healthier ways to deal with anxiety. Relying on cannabis is a lazy solution to problems. It demonstrates a weakness of character. Well said. Well said.
And that's another reason why I'm so concerned about the youth. We know today's youth is suffering from a mental health crisis, all levels. And self-medicating is not fixing the problem. It's numbing the problem. It's delaying the problem.
Right.
But we have to do something. You just can't cover up stuff that's wrong. They've had to deal with things that generations never had to deal with before. And just covering it up with this numbing medication is not going to get right for future generations.
For anxiety, I really love to I like to exercise. I like to either walk or, believe it or not, work out with weights. The more for me, the more stressed out I am, the more I'll probably do more lifting. But if I'm just kind of like concerned or just worried about something, a nice walk does it for me. It's weird, but that's how I get my peace, if you know what I mean. That's how I get it.
I just worked through mine with some old school upbeat music, some Prince or Michael Jackson, turn up those beats per minute and dance it out.
Hey, that's exercise. That's exercise right there. A lot of people don't know it unless you're like one of those people who don't really like move a lot when you dance. Dancing it's fun and it's exercise, believe it or not. I mean, back in the day, believe it or not, they used to have like dance aerobic classes and stuff.
I remember dance exercise. I also remember when songs used to come out and they used to be like 8 minutes long. Like, oh, this is a long bridge. DJ, switch it up.
Hey, not just knee deep. 12 minutes long. So yeah, that was the average for extended mixes. Yeah, that was about the average. The average was about 6 to 8 minutes. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. If it's from Parliament. You know, I'm telling all my age, of course, but you know, yeah. Let me play a little bit of this. Let's see what we have here.
Or anyone, because it happens fast and you don't even.
Okay, let me go back. Okay.
To deal with life. Like, why do you need a substance in order for you to walk through your day? Like, have you ever asked yourself that? Anytime you have to mask your pain behind a substance, that's how addiction is created.
3 signs you need to stop smoking that za, bro. Number 1, bro, if you can't sleep without smoking, you gotta stop. That shit is going to get you depressed so motherfucking fast, bro. I promise you. You gotta learn how to sleep without it. You gotta take a break. You gotta learn how to sleep. And then you can start again, but you gotta fix that relationship. You have to be able to sleep without it. Number 2, zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. Look at what you're doing. Are you falling back? Are you slowly starting to not care about anything or anyone? Because it happens fast and you don't even realize it. You kind of just stop caring about anything and you kind of just let your life fall off to where all you do is smoke and scroll through TikTok, and it's not good. If all you want to do is eat, sleep, watch movies, you know, do bullshit when you smoke, you gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop. You gotta be productive.
He's preaching to us. He's basically saying what you just said.
I mean, you can live it without going through it yourself. It's the reason why I'm not married today. I had a spouse, and he would rather have some weed than live life. I was the one going to work. I was the one paying I put the money in the bank. I bought the food home. Just be there all day. The weed, playing video games, sleeping all day, staying up all night because he couldn't sleep. It's like, I'm not asking you to work because I do good. I'm not asking you to go back to school because he flunked out. I just need you to do something.
Right.
I gave him a year and I reminded him almost every day, you have this many days to do something. If you need to go to therapy, we got you. You go to he wouldn't go to therapy. He misses appointments. It just took the life out of him. And then we got down to day 0. I said, well, where you going to go? He was like, I guess back to my mom's house. And I'm like, okay. Don't call me.
Dang, back to my mom's house. Oh man. Yeah, hey, I mean the thing is that it's just, yeah, that was deep. That was deep. Let me see what else this young man has.
You gotta be productive. You gotta do something with your life, bro. Lock in. This little kid shit don't last forever, my nigga. You grow up. You need to grow up. Now, if you cool on all these things and you responsible with it, then you good. You feel me? Like I dabble in it, but after all the business is taken care of, I can't function off of all that. You feel me? I don't know how y'all do it, but I can't do it. I'm not 100%.
The thing is like, if you really wanted to improve your life in today's, you would look at,
It's important. It's really important that because especially somebody my age, it's like, oh, we don't old time out, things have changed, but it's important to hear from intelligent young men like these, that's what this is what needs to happen.
things you do in your life that you don't like and it's not helping you. Then you cut those off. And that right there is the hardest task for 95% of people. Because if you shouldn't be smoking and smoking weighs on you and it makes you super tired, yeah, you can stop for 1 day, but how about after 7 days? What about 14 days? What about 21 days when the withdrawals start hitting you and you really, really want to smoke? Or what about when your friend asks you, yo, let's smoke? Are you going to say no? Do you know how to say no? So those are like really big decisions that people have to learn how to do. Those self-help books may work for some people. Not saying it doesn't, but I also believe there's a common core foundation that every person who really wants to change their life should look at. And that's discipline, learning how to say no, and contributing a lot of their time to doing things that they don't want to do.
But y'all do me a favor, smash that like.
That was bars. I have to give him bars.
Because he was saying it. He was saying all the things you want. You can smoke a little something every now and then and be recreational, but can you live your life? If you don't engage in it, can you live your life still? That's like a person that drinks. There's nothing wrong with social drinking or drinking every now and then, but can you get through the day without having a drink?
Right.
If you don't drink, do you start having side effects and consequences of not having that drink? Can you function without that drink? Same thing with the weed. Can you function without having that in your life? Are you dependent on that feeling just to get through the day? He said it. Some people just don't have coping skills or want to deal with difficult things, so they turn to it. Like I was saying about my ex, I worked, I brought home the bacon, I put money in the account. When I come home, I don't want the lights cut off. If you've been at home all day just smoking, why are the lights off? The money was there. All you had to do is click on the button in the bank account and pay the bill.
Right.
But there was many a day something was cut off when I came home. And it's like, what are
heck?
you doing?
Right. Well, I thought he was supposed to be the leader.
I guess. I mean, I try to be open-minded to some things, and I knew him for a long time. I still know him. I just don't have contact with him. I know his potential, but he let himself get bogged down in something, and he was using the weed to cope. He did not have a life anymore. It stay home, play video games, sleep all day, stay up by night. Eat. That was it. No job, dropped out of school twice. He just couldn't deal with it. His father passed and he started using more. I don't really remember too much what he was like before he really got into the weed. And I hope it was just weed he was taking in, because I don't know the people who were selling to him. I don't know. I wasn't a part of that.
Yeah. This is the weird thing. I don't smoke weed, but I like the smell of it. I like the way it smells. Would never smoke it, but no, actually, when I think I was like 15, I did once, but I just didn't see anything in it. So, but no, I think it's fine for people, as long as you're functioning, you're doing what you need to do. Hey, that's all good. That just tells, it's just, a lot of people don't do that. They just, they bow down to it. So, but let's see if there's one more person in there.
Might be on that
changing.
pin. I'm too high.
I'm about to die. Oh,
Call the
man.
ambulance.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
On the smoke one on the wake up, smoke one on the way to work, smoke one on my lunch break, smoke one on my way home, smoke one when I get home. You know what I'm saying? Then I gotta smoke another one to fall asleep. So I be getting about 4 to 5 a day, and then the weekend it could be a little more depending on what I'm doing. On the average, I smoke maybe a good 4 to 5 blunts a day, honestly.
Bro, that's a lot, bro.
Like,
Listen, man, if you're productive and you're rewarding yourself, you're an adult, you can do what you want with your life. But if you
bars, I agree.
know you've been trying to level up in life and it feels like a struggle. Every year you look back at the last year and you're like, dang, man, like nothing has really changed. I'm still striving for the same goals and I'm still not closer to it. You have to stop comforting yourself before doing uncomfortable, necessary work for growth. And if the weed's not even making y'all feel good anymore, then why are you doing it? Like, I'm hearing they putting Fetty Wap in the weed now. Like, really ask yourself, like, yo, why can't I stop doing this? Am I addicted? Because if I replace the word weed with, like, let's just say like cocaine or something like that, and I tell you,
Replace the word with anything, and then you say it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Replace it with alcohol. Like, oh no, that's unhealthy. Drink when you wake up, drink at lunch,
Right.
drink at dinner, drink to get to sleep, and drink a little more on the weekends. I mean, you could say that about exercise. I wake up, I exercise. At lunch, I have to exercise. At dinner, I have to exercise. On weekend, I have extra exercise. It's just that doesn't seem healthy. Doesn't matter what you replace it with. It's too much.
You're overdoing something. You're
compensating for something that's wrong.
you that, yo, I'm gonna stop doing cocaine. But then I mess around, go back to doing cocaine, or I mess around and relapse or something. What would you call me? An addict. But there's something about weed that mainly the people that smoke, and again, if it does something good for you, do something good for you, whatever. But an addict is an addict. You know what I mean? If you can stop and you could just stop cold turkey, that's different. But if you're somebody that has told yourself, yo, I'm gonna stop doing it, and you went back to it, it's time to really have an honest conversation with yourself. I might be addicted to how this makes me feel. What do you think addicts go through? They are addicted to the feeling. and they feel like they can't live right without the feeling, which is why
Bars. Same thing with eating. We have food is an addiction to some people. That's how those people on 600-pound life got there.
Because I mean, and it's funny because I've heard of a million reasons why. And one reason is, I mean, they think they make themselves feel hungry, but no, there's some drugs that you can make your body release when you eat. I don't know what that is because I didn't read into it that much, but I know that there's some kind of like hormones or whatever that make you feel better about yourself, not just the eating, but not the eating, the physical part of eating, but just the chemical part of it.
Right, dopamine kicks in.
There you go. So there it is. Yep. So anyway, I think that's a good. This is good enough for a Sunday. I think we had a decent time. You were on point once again. Is there any summary you would like to give to the crowd before I kick the beat?
Well, we were just talking yesterday, and we just need to have more positivity online. We need to come together and celebrate. That's why I'm looking forward to the ladies' night. We need to come together and celebrate positivity because things are hard enough as it is. So hopefully people will come back for ladies' night on Tuesday. Tuesday, I'm gonna have some poems ready. I have one right now, so that's good. I'm gonna leave you with one poem. When the days feel heavy and the nights feel long and the silence is sharp and the world feels wrong, breathe. Because hope ain't weakness. Hope is resistance. Hope is that whisper in the rubble that says get up when everything else says give in. Stay hopeful, not because it's easy, but because it's essential. Because even cracked earth knows how to hold rain. Even broken hearts can still beat strong again. And when your hands feel empty, make them useful, be helpful. Not perfect, not knowing, just present. Check on someone. Open the door. Speak light when the room forgets how. Help heal a world that is tired of bruises, because you, with your quiet strength, your worn shoes, your steady breath, you are already the answer to someone else's question. You don't have to fix it all. You just have to show up with kindness, with courage, with that flicker in your chest that says, maybe today we rise. So hold that flame, keep walking, and when you can't run, just stand. Hope is fuel, hope is fire, and you are that spark.
Bars. Seriously. All right, everybody. Oh, let me pause for a minute. So remember now, Tuesday, and I'm going to be definitely putting this on my wall too. Tuesday is ladies' night. And Ghost is going to be a special guest host for that evening. If anyone else would like to join us, by all means.
You don't have to be a woman to show up. Just show up.
Exactly. Ladies' night, fellas. You know the ladies are going to be here, and you know those are the best. Those are the best times of the best nights to show up. So, ladies' night, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing you here. Ghost will be on the mic. I will be in the mix. See everyone there. Maybe even I'd like to. I'm gonna throw a name out. Phoenix Soul. Good to see you there too.
Phoenix will be at dinner.
See, Miss Alto's in the mix. Miss Alto. All right. So let me go ahead and kick the beat again. Here we go. Remember, Tuesday. This Tuesday, ladies' night. I thank everybody in the chat. If on stage, no. Why is seeking knowledge? Hey, it's good seeing you. Why is seeking knowledge? Who is thinking about you? Okay, let me break it down one more time. Tuesday is ladies' night. So what I'm going to do on ladies' night, I'm going to start up the live. Come up to the stage, do her thing, and then everybody else can come up to the stage. I hope. I already seen a couple of my best sisters in the house. Y'all got to come up. That would be great. Why Speaking Knowledge is amazing as well. Phoenix Soul as well. Chris Alter is here. APC. Thanks for coming through. Maybe JBC can come through and say a couple things. Angela Reddick. Indiana Mom. Susie Bear. Adele was here earlier. I saw in the mix. Shout out also all the replay game. Thank you again for everybody for coming through. We'll catch you Tuesday night, ladies' night. Fellas are welcome. See everybody then.